Welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday night. I have no clue of the date. I just always know it's Tuesday night. So we're happy to be here. We're happy you all are here too. And we're excited to announce a brand new $1,000 value fit to stitch giveaway. Isn't that exciting? This is an educational giveaway. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to award $1,000 value. And you can take that $1,000 and do anything educational. Like you could go to the LA fabric buying trip. You could go to New York and put $1,000 toward that trip. You could do a workshop that's close to where you are. The $1,000 could be applied toward or part of. It's just for educational. People have said to me for a long time, could you just kind of give away a scholarship? Kind of, sort of. That's what we're going to do. $1,000 value. Or you could do online classes. If there's online classes you want to take, you could do that. We just had one that was, kind of pricey. But so just to let you know, the 1,000 here. So there's two ways to enter, and the first is any donation that's just made as a donation. So that means not a product, just a donation. Like if you donated $100, and this all starts today. And it goes through Labor Day. So it's just for this week, this next week for the holiday. We'll actually end it Tuesday after Labor Day because we'll give the last email will be that Tuesday. Next Tuesday will be the next one, a week from tonight. So let's say you gave $100. Let me go back to that example. And for every $25 you donate, it's one entry in cash. 20. It's 20? Sorry, it's 20. I wrote down. I should have brought my notes. It's $20. It is 20. Thank you. So if you donate $100, you get 5 entries, and then it's if you buy a product for $40 of product. So like actually somebody today bought a little a Singer, one of the Singer featherweights that we have, and that was $800. So we'll divide that by 40, and she'll get 20 entries. Because it's product-based as opposed to cash donation. Isn't that exciting? This is exciting. So it's a $1,000 value, fit-to-stitch, educational giveaway. And we start it tonight. And we'll announce it tomorrow in your email. But anyway, just know so that start it tonight. Okay, so tonight we're talking about the bomber jacket. And the bomber jacket, it's just classic. It's classic as all can be. I want to explain the pattern to you, and I want to show you the examples I made and why I did the jacket like I did it. So first off, we want to talk about, the bomber jacket's been around for a long time. It was actually first created for pilots. I think it was World War II. When they went into the cockpit, it was cold. They didn't have the pressurized cabinets that they do today. And so that bomber jacket kept them warm. It was, it was thick and it was short, it was cropped, and it still is today. But lots of versions, there's so many versions of it. This is really fun. So I first want to go through those versions, and then I'll explain to you why I did the pattern, how I did the pattern. It's named Leslie's Bomber Jacket because Leslie inspired it. Hey, Leslie. So let's go through these pictures first. What I really want you to see is, number one, what a great classic this is. Number two, it can be a part of your wardrobe now and forever. It's really all about fabric. You really have an opportunity to do lots with the fabric, and as we look at these different prices, you're going to really see that the prices, I've got some really cool examples of expensive bomber jackets. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with this first picture. Now this is Brunello Cucinelli. There's a few things I wanted you to notice in general on this. If you notice, the ribbing is gone around the bottom. That really is done with so many different ways. It's done by knit fabrics. It's done by elastic put inside a casing. It's done in lots of different ways. So I've heard women say, oh, I've got to have matching ribbing. You just don't. You really don't. I don't want you to think that that's kind of where you think, because that bomber jacket, it's kind of like the jean jacket, has really taken on so many different faces. And I want you to be aware of all those different looks. So let's look at the next one. This one is Acris. I actually saw this at the store when I was shopping, and notice the zipper is asymmetric. No collar at all. I just thought it was really cute. And again, these things are very pricey. You take a couple yards of fabric and can really make a great jacket. All right, so this next one, I wanted you to see this because this is Balmain and they are, as you know, very, very well priced. They're one of the big fashion houses in the world, and they put buttons down the front. And I love this because what I want you to do is you want to gear it toward your level of sewing. And I'm going to show you some examples here before you start. If you don't do zippers, don't do a zipper. You can do buttons. If you don't do buttons, do snaps. Whatever you feel comfortable with is how you want to gear your bomber jacket. The goal is to just get sewing and get it made, and you can see that these real expensive jackets don't necessarily have to have a zipper. All right, this next one I want to show you is, because I especially picked up on this, I think it was $8,000, is that the price of this one? 8,000? Because it's all embellished. So for you who love to embellish, bomber jacket would be a great way to do it. This is all sequin. There's a pattern to the sequins, and it's just beautiful. But obviously it's hand done, and so the price tag of $8,000 comes along with it. So don't think that, there's just so much. I just want really you to go crazy with your thought process. This next picture, what I did is I just took a close-up of this jacket so that you could kind of see that that's sequins. Those are all individual sequins. So it kind of warrants the price. Not that I would pay $8,000, but you can see that it's very pricey. And then I want you to look at this next one because I think it's $6,000. Is that one 6, right? And this is again Brunello Cucinelli, and he is very expensive. He's one of the most expensive houses in the world, as fashion houses in the world. But I did a close-up, and I want you to see this fabric because in many cases it's simply all about the fabric. Before you go on though, look at the bottom of that jacket, and you can see there's no ribbing down there at all. It's just an elastic casing. So basically I want you to have freedom that you don't have to have ribbing. You don't have to do it that traditional way. But if we look at this next one, we see the fabric that they used. And this fabric, it has metal in the fabric. So that's one reason why the jacket is so expensive, is because you know how sometimes we see those lurex threads? This has actually got metal in it. And there's a word, and I can't remember what the word is called, palantino or pallium. I think it's pallium. Anyway, doesn't matter. You can search for it, but it's very, very expensive fabric. Therefore, you put expensive fabric and Brunello Cucinelli together and you get $6,000 jacket. But again, we don't need to do all that. Okay, and then this last picture, I think it is, I wanted you to see, this is Ferragamo, and this was the leather version. And we have that leather, the leather pre-sale, and I did one in leather just so you could kind of get a feel for it. The leather pre-sale goes through Labor Day also. It's black leather. We got it for $39 a skin. This is leather from Florence, Italy. It's ridiculously inexpensive. So if you've just treaded with trying it, I'm going to give you some suggestions tonight where you maybe feel more comfortable with it. But again, it's just a beautiful, jacket. And again, the variation. So the goal is, if you will do a little search for bomber jacket, traditional, I did button-up bomber jacket, I did no-zip bomber jacket, I did all these variations, and you really can see and get a feel for where you want to start and what you want to do. Now, I'm going to have you look at this leather one that I made here for just a minute, and I just did a vest in this particular case. And really, just because I ran out of time, I really think I want to do I want to add the sleeves. But I want you to look at the lines of this bomber jacket. Now, a lot of bomber jackets traditionally are raglans. And with a raglan and a bomber jacket, you lose fit. And because y'all know I'm obsessive about fit, I took these and curved these princess lines. So for many of you, this is based off the blouse pattern 600, but the dart is still in the upper bodice back here. So it has a lot of depth in the back. And for those of you who do a rounded back automatically, like on the classic blouse, you may not need a rounded back on this because those darts are in their original places. Now, when we look at the front, again, what I did, and this was Leslie, really, it was her inspiration. It's curved like a kimono. I'm sorry, a raglan. I'm saying the wrong word. I apologize. It's curved just like your raglan would, but it's a set-in sleeve. And that gives you so much more flexibility, I'm going to say, in using the jacket or in using the pattern, getting the pattern to fit. it's easier to have that set-in sleeve. You can do a forward shoulder if you need, all of the changes that you need to do. But again, this is based off the classic blouse, pattern number 600. Has just a little bit of ribbing, or you could do knit here. And then I used leather for part of the jacket, and I used fabric for part of the jacket, which I think it's a great mix to do those two. This is the black that we have online. And again, of course, I forgot to get the fabric number, but it's a really nice stretch woven. We only have one or two, and it's a beautiful fabric, and it really handles well, and it's really, really pretty. It's really nice to work with. Okay, and so I used 3 fabrics. I used the leather, I used the black stretch woven, and then I used the ribbing at the neckline and at the bottom. And so you can do a vest, you can do a little bit, you can do a lot of leather, but it's just fun to add a little piece in and really come away, because those leather bomber jackets, if you search for, jackets for fall 2024, bomber jackets are like the first thing that comes up. So this is a really easy, great way to sew for yourself and make a great jacket. This is our pattern. I think that we took into all the considerations anytime before I do a jacket. I love the lines of this thing. It does have a welt pocket. I didn't put a welt pocket in the ones I have on. The goal in the one I have on was to just kind of make it a little sweater jacket almost. So I did it out of a knit. Just so much variety as to what you can do as far as the fabric goes. It's just really easy and fun. So that's the pattern, 927, and that's Leslie's bomber jacket. Okay, now we did a sew along also on this jacket. So if you go to our channel on YouTube and do 927 and look for the sew along, and we sewed the fur. If you remember, this is the fur. The reason why it works so well in fur is because fur is thick, but it gives fur, all those seams give fur direction and fit. Even though fur is somewhat shapeless, it still gives it better shape than to not have anything. It is a 2-piece sleeve. So there's 2 seams in there, and you can see where that color changes. That's where my seam is. And then there's a little bit of a, I did a little band at the bottom in this particular case. It's hard to see it because the fur covers it, but there you have it. Okay? But again, it doesn't have to be ribbing. It could be any knit. Any knit would work. And fur is definitely, this is a faux fur. Fur is definitely big. So you can see there's lots of medium we can use. I've got all kinds of fabrics that I'm really excited about. I ordered in just specially to do a bomber jacket out of that I felt would be really fun and really give you a great sense of current fashion, current fun of what's looking fresh today. Okay, so before we start with fabrics, let's take a look at some questions. And we'll answer these questions, and then we'll start with our fabrics. Can the giveaway be to buy stuff on Fit to Stitch? The giveaway is you can buy stuff on Fit to Stitch. It's all Fit to Stitch products or Fit to Stitch donations. So either one. And then we give $20 for every increment of just a donation and $40 every increment of product. And the $1,000 value is there'll be one winner, and we'll pick that winner next week. I'm excited. I'm excited for all of you. If using the bomber jacket pattern, would it work for men or would it need style changes? The men's garments generally do not have princess seams, at least that I've seen. I've not seen a man's garment that has a princess seam. So, I mean, if you did a man in a fabric where you couldn't see the seams, then it wouldn't make a difference. There's a couple fabrics here where, you really wouldn't even see the seams. And there's men's fabrics as well. But typically men's garments do not have princess seams. That's exclusive for women's only. Okay? How many black leather skins do you use for the vest? I used 2. 2. And then I decided I wanted sleeves, so just be careful. I really love it, and I just want sleeves. Because it's just so cute to throw on. It's just lovely, so I want sleeves. Just beware, you might want sleeves. And sleeves would probably take 2 more. Just letting you know. Okay. All right. Tell us about the jacket you are wearing. Okay, so this one is this fabric right here. So all of our give me just 1 second, I will. My fabric numbers tonight are 5,700. 57, you're just going to go to silhouettepatterns.com, go to fabrics, go to view all is the easiest way to do it, and then scroll all the way to the bottom. And you'll see that we're going to start with 5701. And I love my little jacket. You know, I wanted a, you know, kind of like just a little sweater jacket. You know, I don't know, just not really, you know, it's not cold here. You don't need jackets. I mean, that's not true, but I just wanted a lighter sweater-like jacket. So I love it. I just really like it, and I love the fabric. So this is a cotton poly. It has stretch in one direction. It's beautiful. It has the blue in it, which I love, and it also has this dark gold gray, which is so popular right now. So I really wanted to blend it in. Although I have it on with jeans, you could just really have, you know, there's so much variation. I love the fabric. So that's actually our first fabric. That's what I did it out of. Okay? Easy to sew. Now on my jacket that I have on, I did the whole entire thing with the fabric. So because it's a knit, like I did the cuffs with the fabric, I did the banding at the bottom with the fabric. I only used one fabric, and because it was a knit, everything could be done with that fabric. All the banding, everything could be done with the knit. And this is a one-way knit. So what I did actually is, when I was sewing in the zipper and I didn't want the stretch, I put it this way, where there wasn't the stretch. When I wanted the stretch, I put it this way. So it was really easy to put the zipper in because I just turned the piece opposite of the stretch so it held firm. Okay, so a knit, if you're doing a knit, a one-way knit works really well because you can kind of use the stretch when you want it and get rid of it when you don't want it. Okay, then I put this next to it because this is a viscose, and this is a 100% viscose, and it's that dark gold gray, and it's reasonably priced. It's 100% viscose, $18.99. So this would be, you could even do pants out of this. I mean, it's light, but you could do like a yoga pant out of this. A lot of my favorite yoga pants are kind of light, and I really like them. So I put that in because I thought it worked really well. It's a stretch, so you could even do the banding out of it. Anyway, I know you're going to come up with wonderful creative ways, and that is that dark gold gray. And so we're going to, I put that right next to it. So one of the things I really like, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. If you made the jacket, if you made the jacket like yours, but with sleeves, how much leather did you need? Well, here, what I'm going to do, rather than answer that question, because I might be wrong, because it might involve sizing, can I just give you a formula? And then if I give you a formula, you can go through the formula. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, I'm going to use an example of 2 yards. And 2 yards, convert everything to inches. So 2 yards would be 72 inches. And the width, let's just say if the back of the pattern said 60 inches. So if you took 72 by 60, I'm going to get my calculator here. Hang on, I'll get my phone so I can give you real answers. If it was 2 yards of 60-inch wide fabric, that's what we're speculating. So 2 yards is 72 by 60 is 4,320. Then divide by, because leather is in foot, divide by a square foot. So I'm going to divide by 144 because it's 12 by 12. And you get 30 square feet. So each of these skins are between, I think it was 5 to 7 is what we put on the site. I can't remember all these details, you guys. But let's just say if it was 6, I would get 5 skins. And I think I got mine with 4, but I would recommend that you get an extra skin, just to be careful. Once you start sewing with leather, save that skin. It's great to make trim. It's great to do pockets. It's just really, leather is, you know, every time I sew with leather, and this time included, I mean, I look at it and it's so rich. It's just so rich looking. And I don't mean rich in money. It's just rich in the depth and the beauty, and it's just beautiful. And then what I do is I sew it together, and then I open the seam, and then I top stitch on each side of the seam. I always love that look. I just think it's really beautiful. So it's just a really fun way to do a jacket. And to, you know, it's very light. It's an apparel leather. Just pretty. It's pretty stuff. Okay, on your jacket you used elastic in the bands? No. You know, you don't need elastic because the pattern will how do I say this? The pattern is small enough proportionately that when you use the stretch fabric and you sew it too, it will automatically make that work. That's in the pattern. What about in the neckband? No, there's no elastic anywhere, not in the bottom. Did you change the collar on the vest? No, I made them just like the pattern. It's just like the pattern. Even in this one, it's just like the pattern. I didn't make any changes. I did think about, I didn't do it, but I did think about, I saw in the store where they had a long vest that was a bomber jacket, but it was long. It was knee length. But at the bottom, they still had the ribbing just like the short one. And I thought, oh, that is so cute. I love that long vest, long, knee length. But you know, with the leather, it gets a little bit too expensive, but I think it's a great look. And I didn't make one of those, but I thought about it. Okay, so going on with fabrics, there's so many variables. Let me answer this other question. I'm sorry, you guys. Have you ever used faux leather as piping? I have, and I just won't use it. The faux leather, it's okay, like we have some right here. But a lot of times as trim, what happens is the edge comes off. If it gets rubbed, sometimes it's not as durable. Well, it's not as durable as leather. And because trim gets a little more abrasive, I feel like real leather is probably the way to go for trim. But that's just from wear and tear. And I've seen like on purses where they use leather trim and it starts to scrape off, you know, so I don't think I'd do that. Anyway, that's just an opinion. What I wanted to show you with the bomber jacket, like what I have on, lightweight fabrics can be used. So it doesn't need to be necessarily jacket fabric. And so I wanted to introduce to you just some really beautiful crepes. This is a crepe. It's very pretty. I love the colors, just really current and fresh color-wise. It's got great drape. And I think it's just really pretty. It would be perfect. It's what? It got texture? Yeah. Yeah. The crepe, it's a crepe texture. It's pretty. It's very pretty. You can see how flowy it is. And I think it would be really beautiful to do a bomber jacket and do pants that were matching. I think that would be a great look. In fact, Brunello Cucinelli. Oh, that's right. I'm copying him. Yes, he did them matching. He did a bomber jacket and he did pants that matched. And then there was just a big scarf around it. It was beautiful. All right, this next one, I'm in love with this fabric. I just think it's so cool for a bomber jacket. It's a little bit of texture. And I love the two layers together. So I'm going to, hopefully you guys can see these. It's the black, but when you see the black, it almost looks like a night full of stars. There's just like little twinkles all through it. And that's because of the fabric and the way it's made. On the back side, it's actually two layers. And the one layer is pulled through to the other layer. So this is it's a dual layer. It's very lightweight. I mean, it's really lightweight. It's beautiful. But look at the texture on the back side of that. I just think that'd be so beautiful to make a bomber jacket out of it. Already would have all of that texture, and it's just pretty. So I put that up there because I thought that would be great. All right, and that is 5704. And then, of course, we can always have a velvet. And if we're going to have a velvet, it'd be beautiful to have a burnout velvet bomber jacket. Wouldn't that be beautiful? You know, especially just worn with a little tank top underneath. Be so pretty with just a pair of jeans. Just so classy looking. So I got this, and I thought that would be just beautiful for a bomber jacket. So it's a cotton poly. We know that because it's burnout. And the colors in here, I mean, they're so pretty. The light is so reflective of all these colors. But it's a blue, like a white, and a black. Very pretty. We have another question is, if using a woven and don't want or can't find a matching ribbing, what do you do with the neckband and collar? Yeah, no, just use any knit. Use any knit. any black knit, any navy knit, any color knit that you want to use. Don't go with ribbing. Ribbing, if you notice, guys, I didn't show you one picture of these really, really expensive bomber jackets that had ribbing on it. Not one of them had ribbing. So don't worry about the ribbing. Don't let that hold you up at all. You know, there's so many options, and they would be just good old knits. And we've got those 3 knits that we got in. They're special through Labor Day. They're a charcoal, they're a navy, and a grape. They're beautiful. $14.99 for those knits. It's just an amazing deal. All right, and this one is a black, kind of a crushed velvet. This is a woven. I think, again, this would be a beautiful bomber jacket. Isn't that pretty? It's got beautiful drape. You'd want to run those lines up and down, not across. But it just has a really pretty drape, and it's just beautiful. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 6, 5706. Then I love this one too. I guess I don't need to say that every time, huh? Because this one is a knit, but it's so unusual. It's just incredibly unusual. This is a knit. It has stretch in one direction. And, you know, this color that is out right now, it's like a, I'm going to call it a rust, but it's so much prettier than a rust. But it's a beautiful color. And this is a velvet. This is a stretch velvet. So you can just see what a beautiful jacket this would make. Very casual, very easy, and just a lot of fun. Okay. So that's 5707. Sometimes my fabrics don't cooperate with me. This one is it's a poly chiffon. And I just, again, love the colors in this. Look at that. So current to what's going on right now. Be a beautiful blouse, the blouse I had on last week, but also you could do a bomber jacket. And I thought about doing a bomber jacket and a shirt in the same fabric. I think even that would be cool. You wouldn't have to always wear them together, but when you wore them together, I think it'd be really pretty. Okay, that's a poly chiffon. And then next to this is a wool knit. It's a plum, which plum is one of the strongest colors for fall. It's a plum wool knit. It is pretty stuff. Look at this. It's got stretch in both directions. It's so lightweight. It's just unbelievable. It is beautiful. Both sides, I can't tell the difference between either side. It's actually only stretch in one direction, you guys, just for the record. But it's pretty. It's a really beautiful plum color. All right, that's going to keep you warm, but also a little wool, a little jacket, a little bomber jacket. You could use this for the ribbing. You could use this for everything. Just be one-stop shop. And then I put this beautiful print next to it. This, again, is a poly chiffon sheer. I love these. They're beautiful. Just really soft and really beautiful. And again, if you haven't used poly for a while, you guys, don't fear it because it's really progressed greatly. Especially these Italians are on it. They're into making that poly do better than natural. That's really pretty. Yay, look at the drape in that. It's gorgeous. Okay. All right, so that's the front row, the top row, I mean. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 1 through 10 are on the top row. And we can just ask any questions you have. We're happy to help. Okay? All right, there's a bunch of good stuff left. This is really fun because there's so many. It's hard to decide. We had a lot of fabric come in. It was really hard to decide. Okay, so I got to really pick the cream of the crop to really do this for you all. So that was kind of fun. Don't want to use ribbing. I want to use the same fabric, but it's a woven. What do I do with the neckband? Does it need stretch? Yeah, the neckband, well, the way the pattern is done, it needs stretch because what the neckband does is it stretches, and when it stretches, it pulls in. That's what happens, the nature of the stretch. So you could take a woven fabric and you could make it like if you wanted to do 1.5 inches, 1.5 times of elastic, you could make the neckband longer, put elastic inside the neckband, and then pull it when you sew it, and then it would pull in when it was done. But it would still have to have some kind of the nature of the jacket. But I mean, you saw the Acris jacket that I showed earlier. If not, go back to that. It had no collar at all. It just take away the collar. You don't have to have the collar. It still is a bomber jacket without that collar, and it had an asymmetrical zipper, which I thought was adorable. I saw that jacket in the store, and it was just incredible. It's really pretty. So I would just, if you want to use a woven, I would probably use elastic in the waistband and in the cuffs, and then I would just clean up the neckline, and I wouldn't use it at all. Just do a facing. Okay? Okay. Is the plum wool knit soft to touch, or should I line it? No, it's beautiful. This is beautiful. I wouldn't line this. I think lining it would, personally, I think lining it would ruin it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely, I mean, it's so soft. Yeah. Isn't that pretty? You can see these colors really blend together. They're just pretty. This has a little bit of blue, goes with these grays and blues. Anyway, the way I put them up here was they could really blend. And we're going to come to some purples down here too. So I put these purples together so you could kind of make a little purple collection. Wait till we'll get there. We'll go over here first. So let's go now, and we'll go to, it would be 5711. 5711. And this is what I was talking about when I was referring to, we had a faux leather. And this faux leather is probably the softest I've ever felt. And you guys know I've had faux leather in the past. This is just beautiful. And this is a faux stretch leather, and it stretches in both directions. So if you want to get really racy and it's time to make some pants, this could do it for you. And then the back of this is a gray suede. And so I feel certain it's meant to be reversible. You don't have to do that, obviously. But the back is so pretty that it just, you know, it's really nice in and of itself. And keep in mind, it's stretch. This is what's called tomato cream for fall. When you talk about the fall colors, it's tomato cream. And it's just a really beautiful color. So that is current and fresh, and it would be just a beautiful bomber jacket. Or pants. And then I put it with this because it blends so pretty. And this is beautiful. This is a wool. And this, I think, is really, I don't know. I mean, I know that's the right side. That brushed wool is the right side. Isn't that stunning? It's just so pretty. The selvage is beautiful. Everything. But also, I love the back side. And if you kind of look at it carefully, the stripes go this way on the back side, but they go the other way on the front side. So just the way it's woven is spectacular. It's a really beautiful fabric. The selvage is incredible. It's, you know, got a little bit of nub on one side texture, and then that beautiful, I don't know, it's so pretty. Just a beautiful piece. The colors are the same. It's this tomato cream. It's got the grays, the dull gold gray. I can't say that fast, sorry. Anyway, it's just pretty. Isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful piece. Bomber jacket would be great on that. Don't forget, you could put bomber jacket like you could put on the bias. That would be beautiful. Okay, hi. Would the burnout fabric need lining, or is it soft enough to be against the skin? Oh, it's definitely soft. No, I wouldn't do any lining. It's very pretty. It's very soft. You can't find lining softer than this, so you could put it right against the skin. And I think it'd be beautiful to not do anything to it and just let the skin show through. Isn't that pretty? It's beautiful. The pattern and everything. It's very pretty. It's just really an honor, you guys, to bring you these amazing fabrics. It's just really fun. Is the plum wool knit itchy? No, not at all. I mean, I can't say that it wouldn't itch you, but it's it's too soft to be itchy. You know, I think keep in mind that when you have itchy, you have short filaments. That's what makes it itchy. It's the quality. Because the filaments, what happens is they just become undone because it's not tightly done, and they start to poke. So when you have a really nice, that's why if you buy cashmere and it's not good quality, it will poke you. If you buy wool and it's not good quality, it will poke you. This is too nice. This is just beautiful quality. Hope that helps. Okay, so this next one would be 5713. This is a little bit of a, this is a snake pattern. It's very, you know, you don't really see it. It's blacks and browns, but boy, is it pretty. And it's a stretch woven. It's very, very pretty also. I think this would be so fun to do a pair of pants out of. But you could do definitely a pair of pants and a bomber jacket out of this. I love it. It's good looking. And that it's got kind of a little bit of iridescent to it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just pretty. Okay. And then the next one we're going to go with 100% cotton, because this came in and I love it. It just has such great colors in it. It just, this 100% cotton, it's kind of just a blouse weight, but it's so beautiful. It really has lovely colors. It's all the fall colors blended into one. Keep in mind that we're at earth tones for fall, and it's just pretty. It's got a little bit of red, a little bit of rust, a little bit of brown, black, cream. Just good, and it's light. Be a perfect little blouse. Skirt, if you wanted to do a lighter weight skirt. And it pairs beautifully with this brown. And this brown is 100% cotton, and it's a corduroy. And that is 100% cotton also, just FYI. I know it says it on your paper, but I mean on the site, but this is a brown corduroy. And it's a stretch woven, it's 100% cotton, and it's just got great color to it. Not dark, not light, kind of like a, it looks like a coffee creamer color to me. But I think it's just a perfect cafe mocha color. Black top, a black sweater, or a bomber jacket with black pants, or all in one, it would look just beautiful. And then what I did is I put it with this quilted, because it just blends so pretty. The colors of all of these blend so beautifully. And this is pre-quilted. It is, the fiber itself, the fabric, I mean, is 100% cotton, but the batting has some poly in it. When I was burning it, it's a cotton poly. So look at how cute this is. It's easily could be reversed, both sides used, but I love the florals on this side, and you can see it picks up the browns, it picks up the peaches I'm going to show you here in a minute. Just a really fun. And to do a quilted bomber jacket, I thought would just be adorable. If you notice, it's already quilted on the bias, so you could just use it straight a grain and it would be just easy, fun, but the jacket would be so amazing looking. Or even a vest. Just be really cute. And then here is a peach. I had this peach ribbing that came in. There's not a lot of it, but that would be adorable to have do a little peach ribbing on that. Just again, blends really pretty. And the peach ribbing is 100% cotton. Anytime you have ribbing, you typically have stretch in both directions, which this does. It's just a fun piece. And if nothing else, you can make 122, that top out of it, which I love in a ribbing. I always look forward for that. And then we have this one. This is, what number are we on? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is 18. And this is the same fabric, same type of fabric I have on. It's kind of like a sweatshirt fabric. But this is just different colors. I love this fabric. It's really easy to sew with. The colors are great. Here you've got turquoises. Just a different color palette than the one I've got, but I like this one just as well. It's really pretty. Gray's the base, and you go from there. And this has stretch in both directions. Well, I take that back. It's the same as that one, stretch in one direction. The one direction has a little bit of stretch, but not that much. And then if you love the plum, you gotta love this, because I love this fabric and this texture. I think I called it dots. I don't remember what I called it really, but it's just really pretty. When I got it in and it was all in one box, the purple and all this, I thought, oh, that is just amazing. So you can see that this is woven this way, you guys. It's a beautiful piece of fabric. Have no clue what would be the front and what would be the back because you just can't really tell. It's just beautiful. It's got a great selvage. Be beautiful for a cape. Pretty. Bomber jacket, you name it. It would be a beautiful piece of fabric. It's a wool poly blend. Fun, huh? And I told you we had really beautiful stuff. We just have 2 more. And one is 20 and one is 21. The fabric rolls are getting to be as big as I am. We've had this before and I just had a little bit left, so I put it back up because this is the ribbing. This is Gucci. And it's, you know, this is a really beautiful ribbing if you really want to have the ribbing, except it's a little better than ribbing because ribbing has lines in it. What this has is almost like, I wonder if we could get a real close-up of that. This kind of has dots on it where instead of ribbing or giving you linear, it's giving you squares. And it's so nice. It's a Gucci, it's 100% cotton. And it's pretty. It's very pretty. It's hard to get in there close, isn't it? Good, 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 good. Okay, can you talk about zippers for the bomber jacket? Yeah, just hang on 1 second. Let's show this last fabric, and then we can talk about whatever y'all want to. I did another chiffon because this has these plums in it, and I just felt like this was so beautiful. I put this in. You guys, when they're against your body, you really don't see through them. This is a poly chiffon floral that's just very pretty. Just got good colors in it. You're making lightweight blouses, or you can wear a little tank underneath. You could do a skirt and put a slip underneath. They're just fun. They're easy to sew with, and they're just really fun. Okay, that's the last one, 21. Now we can answer any questions y'all need. How's that? Okay, what's the best kind to use? Does the zipper need to match the fabric? Well, so I think those are all style questions. I mean, I sell zippers, and I sell, you know, I'm in love with a separating zipper. Well, I mean, not just a separating zipper, but, you know, we've got 2 kinds. We've got separating, and then we've got the double zippers, and I'm in love with those double zippers. I just really like them. So you just have to decide, you know, what kind you want. I don't like a plastic zipper, so we don't have any plastic zippers. These are metal zippers. We have them made. So, you know, we have the little ends put on them. You know, it's your call. I like these zippers, and I don't care if every zipper in my closet is alike. It doesn't matter to me as long as it's functional and I like the jacket that it's put into. So that's kind of my thoughts on zippers. Some of these have circles at the bottom, and some have, you know, just straight bars. Okay. What color is the back of the quilted floral? It's like a very light orange, and maybe a cream. And it's a check, but it's quilted on the bias, so it has lots of different options. I mean, you could use that side as the right side and not use the floral, because both sides are quilted beautifully. What do you think about using a ponte? I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great. This purple, it's not that heavy, but I mean, you know, the only thing a ponte wouldn't do is you'd have a little more like poofy, you know, where you put the band onto this thing. This would poof a little bit. It'd just be thicker, but I don't see anything wrong with it. You do in leather. Now the ponte wouldn't, you'd have to use another fabric for the band and the bottom. Ponte wouldn't have enough stretch to it. You'd have to put some kind of elastic inside of it in order so it would gather up a little bit. But I think it would work. I don't know that I would do a solid ponte. I think there's so many beautiful bomber jackets out there that I would leave the solids for, I don't know, that's too much opinion. Forget that comment. Do we need to adjust for ease if using a non-stretch fabric like leather? No, this is based on the blouse, and the blouse is, this has got the ease built in. You can see this is bigger than me. I just used a knit because I like the knit. I probably could have adjusted the sizing. I probably could have gone down. Just didn't want to. I wanted to leave the extra in here. You know, so no, I don't think, just pick, you know, what you need to do though on all of our patterns is you need to know what you like. So if you measure some of your jackets, not, you know, loose jackets, then you want to pick your size by that, and then pick your B cup, C cup, and D cup. Okay? Good questions though. I'm just so excited for these fabrics. They're just so beautiful. And it's just fun to have them. Can you please show 5709 again? Of course, that's the wool plum. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Look at this with it. Oh, it's just beautiful. If you're going to make a jacket out of this, you got to make a blouse out of this. That's the rules. Yeah, they're really beautiful. Beautiful stuff. And see, this goes with this plum really well too. This has all those plum colors in it. And when you put it next to the plum, it just pulls out all the plum. Look at that, isn't that pretty? And then this too. Like I said, all of these were in the same box, and it was like, this is so beautiful. See, now you know why this is fun to do, because you can't just pick 6 of these fabrics. You can get a whole idea as to what you want to do by seeing more of them. So it's just really beautiful. Okay, what else? Can you please show, oh, we did that. The bomber jacket, you guys, it's great. The pattern, I love it. The lines of the pattern, you know, and if you haven't done a well pocket, do a well pocket. I think on the sew along, I can't remember if we did a welt or not, but it's a really easy method for doing this welt. We've just showed it on Fit to Stitch also. We put it up on pockets. We did the, we put up one segment of Series 12 called Pockets. And good old Matt showed us menswear pockets, but same thing, but he showed us some great pocket ideas and some great pocket methods to make them really easy for y'all. Okay, another question on using self-woven fabric. Self-woven fabric, or you just mean woven fabric for the band? Would you adjust the length of the band and cut the inside elastic the length of the ribbing? Yeah, you can't cut the elastic. You just need to do it. You'll know the answers. You can't cut the elastic, you know, bigger than the jacket. That's not, it won't stretch back. So yes, you want to cut the elastic the size of the band on the jacket. Okay? And this is your POM. This is your August POM. So I think there's a week left in August. I don't think the first is until next week, but you got another week to get the pattern. And we have done very well. I mean, we've sold a lot of these bomber jackets. So I don't know that you really needed a webcast on bomber jacket. I just wanted to show you some ideas, and I wanted you to ditch the ribbing. Don't get hung up on this matching ribbing. It's just not necessary, and it's just incredible what you can do without it. And I think the ones I showed you, and the reason I picked some of those was that there's no ribbing on any of those. And they're $6,000, $8,000, so you don't need ribbing. Okay, could this be made to be reversible? I think so. I mean, I think you could. I could invert mine and show you the inside, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to engineer your way through it. I'm sure anything could be made reversible, but off the top of my head, there's definitely a front facing. You'd have to kind of engineer your way through it. Okay, I hadn't thought that one through. Okay. An email said you'd loaded a video on Fly Zipper, but not on YouTube. An email said you loaded, we did. I think what happened, you know, I'm not sure. I forgot to follow my way through on that. I was out of town, and there was a Thursday night release. I was in Denver last Thursday, and we were going to upload the Fly Front. It was from a few years ago, and the reason I wanted you to see a Fly Front was because the new pattern has a fly front, the new pants. And it's really easy. It's a great method. I mean, it is a home run, knock it out of the park method. So I wanted you to see that. I wanted you to be practicing that before the pants came. So we were going to upload. So if you just go to our channel, but I don't think it got done, I think is what happened. So if you go to our channel, Silhouette Patterns, and just search for fly front, it'll come up. And it's on Tips 2 video, if you have Tips 2. But also you can just play it. And it's from a few years ago that we put it up there, but it doesn't matter. It's a great method. Okay. I like the idea of a bomber jacket, but the straight line across the bottom is really not one of my best features. Do you ever make the hem rounded or angled? No, because it's not a bomber jacket. All of them are straight across the bottom. And just use your fabrics to take that away. Use pants that are matching. There's so many ideas you can do than to simply stop wearing every jacket that ends at your hip. In my opinion, doesn't make sense. I mean, my shirt that I have on right now is longer than my jacket. Shirts can be longer than jackets all the time. So just change up all the features so that, you know, the attention is not there. But I think if you have a strong focal point, not everybody's going to look at your hips. You have a tendency to look at your hips, but no, I don't think anybody else will. If you're a double D cup in the jacket, would you just be okay to use a D cup? Yes. Cup sizing in the patterns is not exactly the same as bra cup sizing. So the D cup will work great for all you double D or Z's, F's, you know, on up. Okay? Yay. All right, are we doing good? All right, you got your fabric picked out, which one you're going to have? You can make a jacket just like me or not like me. You can make a jacket opposite me. You can make a faux leather. You can make a real leather. The black leather skins are on the site. And if you're interested in those, you want to make sure they get ordered before Labor Day. And then we'll place the order and we'll get those shipped. I think everything is shipped current. The only thing we're holding on, the pre-sales would be the patterns. Of course, we're printing the patterns as we speak, literally. And the Fit to Stitch, the Series 12, Series 13. But that won't ship until December, you all know that. But everything else has been shipped. We're in good shape. Yay! All right, and we're going to have the Fit to Stitch $1,000 value educational giveaway. So go back to the beginning if you missed it, listen to those rules, and again, we'll send out an email tomorrow. Okay? Thanks, you guys. We will see you Thursday. Thursday night, 8 o'clock is our Q&As. I know we were supposed to do it last week. I was out of town, so we'll do it this week. So Thursday night, 8 o'clock, we'll do our Q&As. All right? Oh, one more question here, sorry. If you have lost, if you have lost over 35 pounds, is it possible I need to go to a C cup now instead of a D? It's possible, but weight and cup size really, you know, it just depends. Every body holds weight differently. So I can't answer that question, but I can tell you congratulations on your weight loss. That's amazing. As far as size, can't help you there. But you can just try it. If you put on a jacket and you did a C cup, if you're in question, I would do a D cup. I would always go to the larger cup size. A lot of people think it's going to be wrong, but I've said that for 25 years now, and people say to me all the time, you know, you were right on that. Yes, I know I was. Okay, so if in doubt, still do the D cup and don't worry about it. But again, congratulations on 35 pounds. That's to be celebrated. Not by eating, just by celebrating, okay? Okay. Oh, hit the like button. Oh, I forget to say that. Hit the like button and subscribe. And do a thumbs up, I think I'm supposed to say too. Are you doing a Q&A Thursday? Yes. Is looking for the name of the pocket on Fit to Stitch that is a patch pocket. You sew on like the machine. Can see the stitch in the back only. Guys, you'll have to email me privately. I don't know what you're asking. Just shoot me an email, and I'll put it on the Q&As. Okay, it'll go in the Q&As, and we can. That way, everybody can hear the answer at the same time, and I have half a second to think it through and give you a decent answer instead of off the top of my head. Okay? Yes, hit the like button. I forgot to do that. Thank you for reminding me. All right, we'll see you Thursday night. Thanks. Bye. Happy sewing.